Peru rests on the west coast of South America and is called home by more than 30 million people. From the Sacred Valley to Machu Picchu, Peru proudly wears its rich history atop its beautiful landscapes. But ever since the Incas arose from the highlands there in the 13th century, the Peruvian people have been trying to create the perfect snack. Today, they present us with competitors to the throne. Which South American snack will reign supreme, becoming part of the country's legends, and which will be shrouded in shame? Find out right now as we open our gullets and ask, "You tried that?" You Tried Dat, Peruvian episode. I'm Nick Novak with my pals Chad Hancock and Nick Geiger.
Hello.
Oops, I said howdy, but I had my microphone on mute.
I just saw your mouth move. Was like, oh, I hope.
My bad. I had my mic muted.
There are three of us. Chad isn't here. We're just going to pretend he is.
So, Chad, what do you think? And then just dead silence. All right, that's a like that from Chad. Moving on.
Just pause, be like, ha, ha, great dick joke.
You could probably cut me out of this podcast and not lose anything.
Garfield without Garfield.
You tried that without Chad. Right. All right. Geiger, your sister came across these snacks. Why don't you let us know? Tell us how it came to be.
Yep, she just stumbled around her house and they fell out of a closet somewhere. No, that's not true. My sister, who I guess I won't mention her name, even though I might have mentioned her in a previous podcast already. She
definitely did.
Becky. She's a traveler. She likes to travel a lot. And so she recently went to Peru and I want to say a few other countries and brought us back some snacks from the region. So she spent some of her vacation dutifully collecting three times 4 snacks for us to pass down to the guys. So thank you very much, Becky.
Yeah.
I don't think she ate any of these. So I have no idea what her personal feelings are. But they're interesting. There's a little bit of a variety here. So all of our Peruvian listeners, buckle up. We're about to dive into your cuisine.
I'm very jealous. I wanted to go to Peru for a long time. Did she do the Inca Trail and Machu Picchu?
I believe she did. She'd probably be better to tell you what she did because I do not recall almost anything.
You didn't listen to a word she said.
No, I remember there was a lot of stuff like there was a night thing where there was like a bunch of bats flying around and some different animals like that. And there was, I think she
was wandering a dark cave at night.
Did she go to Peru or the zoo?
Yeah. I think there was this thing where like she got to ride a train and pet the elephants. Oh wait, that was the zoo. No. I think there was another time. I think she got really bad indigestion. Like I do know there was one day they all got kind of altitude sickness because they climbed up into the mountains. It wasn't Machu Picchu. It was a different mountain. So other than bats and altitude sickness, I don't recall too much about what she did, but she did have a great time.
We're saying, what did she do? Chad says, did she go to Machu Picchu? I do remember she had bad indigestion one day.
She saw some bats. Great trip.
Look. When's the last time you saw a bat, wise guy?
Yeah, I saw a couple when I was in a cave in Belize. They were just kind of hanging out while we were walking past.
Humble brag. This guy.
Humble brag.
Hang out with bats. When's the last time you got indigestion? Pretty interesting story, huh?
I've told those stories on the podcast.
Yeah, you have it about every 5 minutes.
9 or 10 or so. If you want all those bad boys.
I remember that episode as the episode when everyone stopped listening.
And they never came back.
All right, before we get into those, guys, tell me, have you ever at work forgotten a coworker's name or had the person, more specifically, had somebody calling you by the wrong name before?
Actually, yes, because I have 2 incidents of this recently. One is I do a workout class a couple days a week, and they brought a new instructor in, and he was trying to learn everybody's names, and for some reason he thought my name was Chuck instead of Chad. And so during the course of the class, he kept saying like, okay, yeah, straighten your back, Chuck, like, good job, keep it up, whatever. But like, I was so exhausted at the time trying to lift weights that I just didn't correct him. And then at the end of the class, he was like, I was like recording down my scores on the sheet and he's trying to find my name. He's like, I don't see you anywhere on here, Chuck. And I'm like, it's under Chad. And he's like, why didn't you correct me? And I just lied and said, well, sometimes people call me Chuck. Just because I didn't want to like admit that I should have corrected him earlier.
Was the problem that he was calling you? He kept saying "good job, Chuck," and you were confused because you were not doing a good job.
Right, I was not doing a good job, and also not named Chuck. And then there's another even worse incident where there's a coffee shop on the way to the bus station that I go to many mornings to get a chai latte. The people there, it's pretty much the same employees every day, and so they've come to the point where they recognize me and they know my order like when they come in. And somehow they got it through their head that my name was Charlie. I'm not entirely sure how. And so they would say like, "Oh, Charlie, what do you want today?" And again, at first, I didn't realize they were talking to me, or like they kind of have a little bit of an accent, so I didn't totally understand that they were saying Charlie. And about 3 months went by, and then I realized that they thought my name was Charlie.
3 months?
Yes. At this point, they've been calling me Charlie for 3 months. I cannot correct them at that point. So that was 4 years ago, and they still think my name is Charlie.
Don't they look at your like credit card?
You have to have $5 to pay a credit card. So most of the time I pay cash.
Oh.
But yeah, so I just never bothered to correct them.
There's been 4 different people at work that have called me Matt.
That's not even
Like
close.
at different times. No, it was one time. It was the president of our company, which is great for my career prospects. He's like, "How's that so and so deal going?" And I go, "I don't know, but I think you think I'm Matt." I won't say his last name. He goes, "Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that." And then there's a couple of others were innocuous, but there was 2 that were kind of funny. One was there was this guy that worked for us named Matt that was like an IT guy, and he dressed like a bike messenger. Like he was just he had like a ton of tattoos and those giant spacer earrings that like give you hoops in your ears. We used to call them hoops because he had these big like rings in his ears, and like just could not look more alternative if he tried to. And I came in, I met somebody was in from remote who I'd met before, and she's like, "Oh, hey Matt, how's your snake?" And I was super confused.
Just asking about your dick.
yeah. I was like, it's fine. It works. No, it was
long and hairy, hard to carry.
Yes. That old chestnut.
Remember when you got fired from that job?
And so I was like, "I think you're talking to someone else." And she goes, "Oh, I thought you were Matt blank." And I'm like, we could not look more dissimilar. I don't know who's more offended.
Is that the same Matt that the president confused you for? Like, do people or a totally different Matt?
Totally different Matt. And then there was a guy who thought I was Matt, and he called me Matt a few times, and I just kind of let it go. I didn't care. Like, I didn't really want to talk to the guy. So I'm like, yeah, whatever, man. And then I'm at an airport, and I'm like standing by a Chili's so that I can see the Packer game. It was a Sunday night Packer game, and I was like watching it on the screen. And I hear this guy going, "Matt, Matt, Matt," and I'm not looking because it's not my fucking name. And I turn around, and this guy from work, again, a third separate person who does not know the other 2 stories, is going, "What's up, Matt?" And I'm like, "My name is Nick." And he goes, "Oh, sorry, man." And then he was like, "Why didn't you tell me?" I'm like, "Because I thought you'd catch on when I email you and you know what my name is." Our email has my picture on it.
Do you have some like arch nemesis inside the company that's secretly telling everyone your name is Matt as some sort of weird sabotage?
I mean, I'm not sure how that like hurts my career path. The mats we have are fairly decent mats.
Nobody likes a Matt.
That's true.
If you do a really shitty job, though, it could be a nice scapegoat.
Last time,
what's your name? Matt.
Yeah. When I hit reply all, I was like, "Fuck off, everyone! I'm burning this place down." I wrote, "Sincerely, Matt." There was a guy recently. We had a fantasy football string going on, and I'm not in the league, but I am part of it, so it doesn't matter.
You're an observer to a fantasy football league? You're just a fan?
I don't want to play fantasy football anymore, but I like talking about it, so I help.
That's so fucking lame.
No. There's 3 guys in the league because the commissioners are also the commissioners of the league are also in the league. So to be fair, 3 independent people that are not in the league do all the trades. and I do
That's
that.
such a Matt thing to
Holy
do.
shit, that's so stupid.
That's a real Matt thing. But this guy, like somebody made a joke, and this guy responded with this scene from The Big Lebowski where Walter, like John Goodman's character, is smashing the windshield with a lead pipe and yelling, "Now you know what it's like to get fucked in the ass! Fucked in the ass!" Like over and over and over. And so finally, like all of a sudden, 5 minutes later, we get this other email like, I just want to apologize for sending that out to the company. I could see where that would be offensive to some. Like really worried. I'm like cracking up.
We had something similar where there was like a big conference for the entire sales organization at the company. And as a motivation, the VP of sales sent out to the sales organization, which is like 7,000 people, sent out to everyone a link to that scene from Glenn Ross, where Alec Baldwin is like just swearing, like that whole "always be closing" thing, and he's just like,
Yeah.
there's just a string of curse words. I don't know the exact quote. We sent that out to this whole org, and then about 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, there was another email from him like, "I apologize for the strong language and that it offended some people in that email I just sent out."
No, like, didn't you hit reply all at work and just sent out the entire movie of All Dogs Go to Heaven on accident?
Yes, I apologized because all dogs don't go to heaven, and I was like, "Look, I realize some of you might be confused by this, but there are many dogs that go to hell." So,
And a surprising number in purgatory. It's very strange.
Yeah.
anyway, famously, story that we tell frequently at our work, but this involves the same hanging quiche guy from a while back. But when he started I have a friend there named Josh, and he started calling Josh Paul all the time, just thinking his name was Paul. And this was going by like months. It went by. I kept calling him Paul, and so Josh would keep saying, "I don't know how am I supposed to tell him? How am I supposed to tell this guy that he's calling me by the wrong name? Because we're going to be working together for a while, and I can't. At some point it's going to come out, and I'm going to look like an idiot." So he's always asking us for like, just go tell him, just go tell him. He's like, "I can't now. It's been too long." So one time we're all in the break room, and there's probably 7 or 8 people around the table, and Josh is in there, and Cam, the guy who's been calling him Paul, is also in there. And so he says, he's talking about a lady we work with, and Josh is like, "Hey, do you know how nice Susie is?" And then he pauses, or he says, "She's going to go tell Cam that," and he stops because he sees that Cam is in the room. And a bunch of us start laughing, like cracking up. And one of my friends like has to walk away from the table, and Cam goes, "What's she gonna tell me?" He's trying so hard for months to figure out the perfect way to tell him, and he's now walked right into it. So there's like a 4-second pause where I can tell he's deciding, should I make something up? Like, what can I make up here? Instead, he just turns to him, like count about a 4 count, turns to him and goes, "Cam, you've been calling me Paul." And the guy was so nice. He was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, man. I didn't know."
See, that's the thing. Like, I could have easily told those coffee shop workers, like, "Hey, my name is Chad." Like, and they wouldn't have even been offended. They would have just been like, "Oh, yeah, okay," and totally cool about it. But for some reason, I just can't work up the nerve to do it. I'm terrified of what's going to happen.
What if they listen to this? They probably do listen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
it. Sure.
Yep.
We all believe.
So, if you have a story of being called the wrong name by a coworker, Geiger, where should they contact us?
Just talk to Matt. I'm sick of dealing with this shit.
Matt at You Tried Dat.
Matt at You Tried Matt. You Tried Dat at gmail.com. Hashtag You Tried Dat at You Tried Dat. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. A million different ways to find us. Also on fantasy football websites. I just roam them. I'm a part of actually all of them, and I give advice on all of your trade needs. For example, I think you should bench anyone named Matt. I think they all suck. Matt Ryan, out. Matt Stafford, out. Other Matts, out. Couldn't think of a third Matt real quickly.
What about Knicks?
Knicks are great. Nick
Foles?
Nick Foles. Oh, yeah. No, Nick Foles is great. He's holding it up for all of us Knicks out there.
Wasn't there a kicker named Nick Novak or something for a while?
There was.
Yes, there was. Yeah. My kids would ask me regularly, like, if I knew them.
And you're like, I know him about as well as Chad knew John Hancock.
There was a great football player named Chuck Hancock, I think.
I actually do know a John Hancock, my cousin. Not the same one that signed the Declaration of Independence.
Oh, really?
Different John Hancocks. Yeah, just want to clear that up.
Okay.
Geiger did say Chuck Hancock, though.
Chuck Hancock. Yeah, there's a football player named Chuck Hancock. I do know a John Hancock. Not the one for Independence Day. Okay, cool. Good segue.
Well, let's eat some Peruvian snacks. So we
got more than
4 of them.
More than usual, yeah.
You didn't tell Becky that we eat 3 snacks on this podcast.
She's listened to every single episode. Becky, come on.
Learn to count.
I mean, what are you thinking? And also, thank you for stuffing your suitcase with all this for us.
Let's do the Inka Corn.
Inka Corn.
We are going to be rating these snacks on a 5-point scale. We have a love dat, like dat, indifferent to dat, dislike dat, and hate dat. And first up, we have something called Inka Corn, INKA here. It is the original flavor, so it looks like, how do you describe this, guys?
Like a giant corn nut.
Is this popcorn? Is this an actual nut of some kind? I have no idea.
This is actual corn, I believe. This is just like a popcorn. Like corn nuts are basically just, I think, this almost looks like you soak a corn and let it expand and then fry it or something like that, or bake it. I have zero idea if that's how it's made, but it looks like real corn.
These things are bland AF.
They're super crunchy.
Yeah.
Very salty,
There's a lot of Inka in it.
I'm sure yours are salty?
Mine are not. Oh, there are some that are very salty.
Some of them are. Yeah, so it's not evenly distributed.
I just had 2 or 3 that are stuck together that were like super salty.
All right. So Geiger, what do you think of this Inka Corn?
Not sure. It's sorry.
Take a couple of your teeth out.
I got these rocks in my mouth. Hold on. Refreshing. They're good. Do you guys like corn nuts? I really like them, actually.
Indifferent to that.
I just want to know what the deal is with them.
What is corn? What is nuts? I think this is not as good as a regular corn, I think, because they're so much bigger and they're not as, even though they're crunchy, they almost end up sort of like you have to chew your way through them. The salt is very inconsistent. There's some that are super salty, some that are just like you're basically eating like an airy cracker almost. I'm right down the middle on these. Like if there was a bowl of them out, I could probably graze on them. So I would say indifferent, but it's not something I don't dislike them, but I was looking forward to these maybe more than the others as a good salty snack, and they're just kind of okay.
All right, Chad, what do you think?
The salt is inconsistent. They are too hard. Almost to the point where it's like, not that I have some kind of like frail, brittle teeth, but I'm like, am I going to hurt myself eating these? Obviously not, but that is a concern. Anyways, these aren't really doing it for me. Dislike that.
All right. I'm really torn between your guys' ratings. I finally got the salty one, and it was better, but the other ones were terrible. I don't know. It's okay. It doesn't taste like much at all to me. I guess I'd eat it, but it's not great. So I'm going to give it an indifferent to that. So we have 2 indifferents and a dislike for the Inka Corn to start things out. Let's eat this purple chocolate box next. This one's called the Chocolate Peruano Ancestral.
Great.
A little rectangular box.
It's got a picture of Machu Picchu on it.
No bats, though.
70% cacao.
Did your sister take this picture?
No. She had nothing to do with the creation of these products, Chad.
Oh.
This box looks like it hasn't changed since like the 70s. Like it's a very old-timey design. This, mine's a little melty.
This,
Yeah. It smells very dark chocolatey.
Yep.
It's 4 squares, a little bar with 4 squares on it.
Oh yeah. I'm just still trying to fight through this packaging. It's just like the sticker was hard to get into.
There's something else in here. There's like some little white, I don't know if they're like rice crackers or something if you look in at a cross section, but I don't taste them at all.
Yeah, I agree. It gives it like just a tiny bit of like a crunch, like every like third time you bite.
I wonder if it's like quinoa or something.
You mean because on the box it says quinoa?
Yeah.
Is that Spanish for quinoa? Quinoa?
That's what I don't know though. If that's truly quinoa or if that's like just Spanish for.
Let's look it up.
Donkey teeth or something. I don't know.
Donkey teeth.
Let's see. Oh, yes, it does say donkey teeth. Okay, QU.
Quinoa is Spanish for Chuck Hancock.
I mean, even the it says it may refer to quinoa. Yeah, so.
Okay.
Or it may refer to, it's a town. Or it may refer to Quinoa, Peru, a small town in the Huamanga province.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. Chad, what do you think of this chocolate?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's not bad. When I first kind of ate it, I'm not the hugest fan of dark chocolate, but this isn't particularly bad flavor. Like, it's fine. There's something about the aftertaste that's not really sitting right. So I'm kind of torn here between indifferent and dislike. It's all right. I think I'm going to go indifferent to that.
All right. There's an indifferent from Chad. It's maybe a little better than some dark chocolate I've had. It's not incredibly dark, and it's fine. I mean, it's a piece of dark chocolate, which I'm not a huge fan of, but it's okay. I'm going to double up with Chad here and do an indifferent to that. And Geiger, there is a knock at the door, but I have a feeling you're not going to answer it.
Not answering it. I like dark chocolate. I don't understand what the little donkey teeth are inside. I mean, I must be like really tiny donkey teeth. But I am going to go ahead and give it a like that just because I like dark chocolate. It's solid chocolate. Not meaning it is pure chocolate. I mean, it's a good solid version of chocolate. Just nothing. It's nothing fancy, just dark chocolate, but it's good. So like that.
All right. We had a knock at the door, and Matt did not answer. So
thanks for your rating, Matt.
There was a welcome Matt, however, out there.
Oh, nice.
You are known as Mr. Matt.
Yep.
That is true.
Sure am.
So that does put this piece of dark chocolate from Peru in the lead for now.
Odd setup for that,
but we'll split it halfway here with the segment, and we'll do our segment now, and then hit our last two snacks on the flip side. So Geiger, talk us through our segment.
All right, so we have enjoyed doing some BuzzFeed quizzes before. The good people at BuzzFeed doing God's work of just randomly assigning test results to arbitrarily chosen answers.
Yep.
So today we are going to find out what concession snack are we at. Earlier today, not to date this podcast, I watched a football game that was rather frustrating for the Green Bay Packers. And so I was in a sports mindset, so I decided let's do concession snack. So take this quiz and find out what classic concession snack fits your personality.
Great.
All right. The first question is choose a puppy. And this is a great visual medium to share on a podcast.
This was a good test to pick because it's just all pictures of puppies that we now have to describe.
We have an Alaskan Husky puppy, a brown puppy, another.
It's a lab.
No, I'm looking at the one underneath that with the rug.
Some kind of like a Cocker Spaniel or something.
There's a puppy with big ears. Yeah, a lab, a poodle-ish one, or Bichon Frise, and a gray dog.
All right.
I'm gonna take.
So if you want to play along at home with us, just go to BuzzFeed and search for what concession snack are you.
I'm gonna pick this lower right gray puppy.
That's a good puppy. Chad?
You like that one?
For me, it's got to be the one that looks like the lab. I think labs are the cutest puppies. So that's the top right, golden lab looking one.
Top right is what I chose as well.
All right.
All right, choose a Will Ferrell movie. Step Brothers, Elf, Semi-Pro, Anchorman, Blades of Glory, or Talladega Nights.
So I actually have not seen Semi-Pro. I think that's the only one I haven't seen of these. Have you guys seen
I haven't seen Semi-Pro either.
It's okay.
It didn't look great.
I am on record as like everyone and their mothers, especially every female I've ever met, loves them some Elf, and I really don't think it's funny.
I agree. I don't like Elf.
My wife likes Elf. I think it's pretty funny.
My wife is obsessed with Elf. She loves it. I can't stand it.
The one I have to pick the one I laughed the most at upon viewing, and it's hands down Anchorman.
It's a slam dunk. Yeah, that is by far the best Will Ferrell movie is Anchorman.
I agree. I really like Step Brothers too, so I took Step Brothers as well. There's just so many fun. Like I find myself quoting Step Brothers more often, like the music video and like we put liquid paper in a bee, it died. Stuff like that is funny to me.
The worst of these that I've seen is, in my opinion, Talladega Nights. I did not think that was funny at all. Blades of Glory has a couple funny parts in it, but it's not great.
Yeah. I don't remember much about Blades of Glory at all. I remember him drunkenly weaving around in like a wizard's costume and throwing up. That's about all I remember.
It had Napoleon Dynamite in it. I remember that.
Yeah.
All right, choose a celebrity to play you in a movie. Our choices are Scarlett Johansson, pretty close to me. Meryl Streep, too old, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Kidding. I'm
What?
sorry, it's not appropriate. Natalie Portman, Brad Pitt, Robert De Niro, and Morgan Freeman.
Oh, I wish there had been someone named Matt here.
Chad, you've often been referred to as a young Morgan Freeman, haven't you?
Yes. Yes, Red. Take out your ball sack.
We've definitely done inappropriate Morgan Freeman voice
Yeah.
on this podcast before. Show me your balls, Red.
I'm just gonna pick the one of these that I actually think is the best actor or actress of them, which I actually am a big fan of Natalie Portman. I think she's really good. I
Alright.
just watched that movie Annihilation.
I heard that was great.
Yeah, it's a good movie. So I'm gonna go Natalie Portman. Also because of her couple Lonely Island songs, which I love.
I love Natalie Portman. I think she's great, but I would not pick a female to play me in a movie of me. So that's why
Sure?
I will not be picking her.
She could totally do it though. She could totally
She
do
has
it.
your dainty wrist.
You guys are both shaped like twigs.
Morgan Freeman doesn't quite make sense. Brad Pitt, that seems just a little bit arrogant of a choice. I really think Bob De Niro could really catch the essence of me. Like,
Uh-huh.
so Robert De Niro it is.
A taciturn, angry old man. That's what I think of when I think of Nick Novak.
Who are you picking?
Meryl Streep, just stop. We're done with it. Just knock it off. Quit acting.
You really don't like Meryl Streep.
I don't know. I
Retire already, you old
don't
bitch.
like Meryl Streep for some reason. Scarlett Johansson, strong contender. I was gonna say Robert De Niro just to be different. I will actually take Morgan Freeman because I think it'd be hilarious for Morgan Freeman to play me in anything. So,
What was the last good Bob De Niro movie?
ooh,
It has to have been like, I guess Silver Linings Playbook was
yeah,
decent, but not because of
Right.
him.
Dirty Grandpa.
Ugh.
it has been a while, but to be fair, he does have many good movies. So
Oh yeah, he's the most accomplished. I mean, him and Meryl Streep are the only two contenders for most accomplished.
I would say Brad Pitt. I'll bet Brad Pitt has more good movies than Bob De Niro.
Well, it depends.
Factor in like Ocean's 11, Fight Club. Like Brad Pitt has a lot of good
factor in
movies.
Ocean's 11.
It's okay. We're going off Chad's
Ocean's
movie
11 is
scale.
better than anything Bob De Niro has ever made.
No, have you ever? So I hate you. I guess you don't like the Godfather movies.
No, Godfather 2 is boring as fuck.
Oh, okay, here we go. You don't like Deer Hunter.
Never seen it. Sounds boring.
Yeah.
Taxi Driver,
I did not like Taxi Driver. Ugh.
Raging Bull.
Haven't seen that.
Heat.
I didn't like Heat.
Okay, well, so you just don't like good movies is the problem.
No, that's right. That's exactly right.
Ocean's 12. Oh man, that's awesome.
No, Ocean's 12 sucks. Ocean's 12 sucks. We pretend that doesn't exist.
Okay, here we go. Choose a bad habit. Nail biting.
Disconnect.
Saying like. Snacking. Hopefully you don't choose that one. Spending money or sleeping. Sleeping in late or swearing. Now, I don't know if this is one you want to have or one you are doing currently. I do a couple of these things.
I think this is too perfect to not pick snacking. I'm gonna pick snacking.
Okay.
I actually only consider 2 of these as bad habits, nail biting and saying like. Snacking's great. I love spending money. Sleeping in late is like heaven. And swearing, fuck, who doesn't love to swear? So I'm going to pick saying like. I say like too much.
I wish I could stop biting my nails and then swearing afterwards. So I'm going to pick biting my nails. Choose a holiday. We have New Year's Eve, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Valentine's Day, Christmas, and Nick Novak's birthday. No, 4th of July is the last one.
I was born on the 4th of July,
Yeah.
just like Tom Cruise.
This is a slam dunk for me.
Yeah, actually, 4th of July is my favorite holiday by far.
Really?
Middle of the summer. Just as a kid, it was always the one that I enjoyed the most. I think it's the time of year it comes at, too, is part of it.
Mhm.
Some strong contenders here, no doubt about it, but I'm going 4th of July.
For me, no question, Thanksgiving. It's by far the best holiday. I love eating. It's all about just eating. The food is great. I love Thanksgiving food. So yeah, this one's not even a contest. The worst of these, toss up between New Year's Eve and Valentine's Day. New Year's Eve
Yeah.
probably the most overrated holiday, but Valentine's Day is so dumb.
I'm really torn between Thanksgiving and Christmas. I love Thanksgiving is basically Christmas with less pressure to me. Like there's just so much like running around and gift giving and the kids and Santa but I love Christmas. So I am going to go Thanksgiving too, mostly because of our friends' Thanksgiving is probably my favorite actual holiday. All right, Choose a member of the Kardashian clan. Do I have to?
Oh
Okay,
my
Kim,
gosh.
Courtney, Chloe, Kendall, Kylie, and Chris. Anyone takes Chris, you're off this podcast right now.
I will be honest. I don't know who Kendall or Kylie are.
They're the Jenners. Kylie was in. Was she the one I think that was in a Pepsi commercial where she like stopped police brutality by giving the cops a Pepsi or
Something
something
like that.
weird like that?
Courtney, I know Kim Kardashian. I know Chloe because the Lamar Odom stuff, and then I know the mom. The other three are a mystery to me. So I'm gonna pick one I don't know, since I don't. I think all of this is vile. This is a bad habit. It's the Kardashians. That's what should have been the bad habit. I'm gonna go with this Kendall person.
You were saying earlier too, Kendall would probably play you in the movie of yourself.
That is true. No, actually, I said Kris Jenner would.
Kris Jenner, not Bruce.
Yeah, these are 6 of the worst human beings on the planet. So randomly, let's go with Kylie.
Look, we got to go with the original, the OG Kardashian here, Kim Kardashian. Without Kim Kardashian, all of them wouldn't exist. So maybe that's a reason why I shouldn't like her. But
Yeah, it's her fault.
I used to honestly think she was pretty hot. Not as much anymore, but I'll take her.
All right.
Choose a meme. All right, this is going to be really easy to explain. Okay. There is a picture of Arthur the Aardvark's hand tightening into a fist. There is a small girl like smirking while a fire rages in a house behind her.
Everybody knows that one.
Right. A guy pointing to his head. I think it's like, oh, that's smart. That's smart. This one is very used all the time. Very used. Has been used a lot. Is the guy checking out another girl while he's with his girlfriend. Kermit looking at an evil Kermit. Never seen that. And then a cartoon dog sitting at a table while the house is on fire, and he says, "This is fine."
I've seen that one before. All right. I think this is an easy pick of Arthur's fist.
What is that? Who is Arthur the Aardvark? I've never heard of that.
You never like
Some kids cartoon.
if you looked him up and just looked up Arthur, you'd recognize him. Like it's like an aardvark or something that wears glasses, and he's got like an aardvark family.
Oh, I recognize that guy. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I got my answer. So before you click, let me read. I got nachos.
Of course.
Nachos have a lot of spicy, bold, and tangy flavors that align with your personality. Just like the nacho chip supports the various toppings, you are always the go-to friend when your friends need some support or advice. You can be a little messy at times, but your spicy personality makes up for your lack of organizational skills, which I would say at least portions of that are very accurate.
You have a fiery personality?
That's mostly the entire thing with the fiery personality.
Right, Chad, do it.
This is tough for me because I think memes are very not funny. It's like Mad Lib's comedy, basically. Like, it's the lowest denominator to comedy, takes no cleverness whatsoever. So I'm going to go with this one that I haven't seen before that's kind of the funniest looking picture, which is this guy like pointing to his head like he's smart with kind of a really funny smirk on his head, so on his face. You got hot dog.
Of course.
Oh, good job, Chuck.
Yeah, that's great. You are someone that does not like to fly solo. Just like the wiener and bun, you likely have a best friend or soulmate that many consider to be a dynamic duo. There is some mystery to you, and some may question what you are really made of. Spoiler, pig anus. However, you understand that your life is just like a hot dog and how it's all about how you make it. So there you go. I do like hot dogs, but the hot dog picture they have has like a whole bunch of, for some reason, sliced cherry tomatoes on it. So that particular hot dog looks like I'm gonna barf if I eat it.
All right. I am gonna just.
What if you gotta gobble?
I gotta gobble. Get your hands off my stuff or whatever. I'm gonna take guy checking out another girl's girlfriend because I think that one's funny. You got soda. You're bubbly, outgoing, and hilarious. Accurate so far. Your level of energy, much like the caffeine content of soda, has the ability to wake people up and put them in a better mood. Nope. Your sweetness and fizzy personality is the ability to light up a room, but you are also assertive when appropriate and are a natural-born leader. I think it's fair to say, when you look at a can of soda sitting on the shelf, you think, there's a fucking leader. A literal leader of soda.
A leading cause of diabetes.
There is a leader of death in America. So that was BuzzFeed. BuzzFeed still don't quite understand what you do for a living, but we appreciate it very much.
Why do you exist?
Yeah.
Well, we still do have 2 more snacks to eat, and one of them is a bird feeder. So this one is called the Granola En Barre Is that a U or an I? Nutre or nitrate?
Nutre, I think.
Okay. And it looks, I kid you not, exactly like something you hang from a tree and let birds eat. It's loaded with tons of little, I don't know, pieces of grain, I guess, of granola. And then I've got a big chunk of black something in mine. Do you guys have that?
Yeah, it looks like maybe there's one cranberry in here or something.
Yep, I've got one cranberry in there too.
But there's only one in the entire bar. And then otherwise there's a bunch of nuts or something mixed in. I don't know if there's peanuts or something else.
Well, they got to do something to entice you to eat your way to the center of this styrofoam block. This is a large granola bar. This is like the size of a small like school eraser. What?
I took a bite.
What's
God.
wrong? Is it that
Oh,
bad?
I feel like it's like I ate some expanding foam that's like filling up my throat now.
This tastes like the inside of a beanbag chair.
Oh,
Oh, God.
This is weird.
Ah! Fuck, that's so bad.
get to the cranberry.
That's like everything. Somebody took all the bad parts of a rice cake and distilled them into like a granola bar.
Yeah, there's something very rice cakey about it.
Oh, the aftertaste.
The aftertaste is bad. It smells okay. It's hard to describe. It's so light, like extremely light and airy. It does taste like biting into styrofoam.
I will say that is one of the things we've complained about from other, these granola and health bars that we've tried is that they're so dense and thick. And this is the complete opposite of that for sure. But I think the pendulum has swung too far in the other direction.
All right. My turn to lead it off here. I would not take another bite of this. I took a couple just to be fair for my rating, but I'm done with that. And this is a pretty easy hate dat for me. This is an awful, awful snack. Geiger?
I got about halfway through.
Look, he's going.
I got about halfway through.
Wow.
First of all, shame on you, gents. My poor sister hucked this horrible, vile piece of shit back from Peru just for you.
You're telling like the crack fiction story where he's like, your father held this bar in his ass 4 years.
Becky, you done fucked up.
No, I mean, I wanted to get to the cranberry. Turns out it tastes like a dried cranberry, guys. It's pretty impressive. That is just, who's eating that and feeling fulfilled in any way? It doesn't even feel like it'd be filling because it's so airy. It's literally like eating styrofoam. It's not going to fill you up. It's not going to taste good. The aftertaste is bad. There's one piece of fruit in the whole fucking thing. El Nutre, if that's the company, I have no idea.
If that is your name.
El Nutre, that's really who you are.
Or is your name actually Matt?
I've been calling him El Nutre for months.
Look, your granola en barre is in granola and shitty. I have zero idea what I just said.
That was a very, perfect use of the language.
Well done.
Did I do that right? Is that the right syntax there? Okay, anyway, hate that. This is a pile of shit. Move on.
Oh, you know what? We might be entering uncharted territory here.
I actually do need to thank my sister. This might be great.
Call your friends, call your neighbors. This is like a pitcher going for a perfect game in the ninth. Like we've been waiting so long.
We had to scour the earth. We went to the wilds of South America to bring back this horrid bird feeder looking motherfucking bar.
All right, Chad, you have the honors.
What's that smell? Do you guys smell something? It smells like it's coming from outside. Let me just walk over to the front door, open up the door. There is a flaming bag of dog shit on my door. This thing is so bad. So bad. Hate that. This thing's terrible. Fuck all these people. The people that made this bar have never made another bar. I hate this thing.
The very first flaming bag of dog shit that we've ever had, but I'll be honest, this isn't the worst thing I've eaten on this podcast.
No, this is better than the olives.
It is better than the olives. That's exactly what I was going to say.
It's better than the handy snack. It just isn't good.
Yeah, it's also better than the handy snack, yeah.
I'd rather eat the handy snack.
Jesus.
Chad, why don't you quick explain what never made another blank is.
Sure, I was just going to let that hang. We have a friend who was trying to play the Mario Lost Levels game back when he used to live with him, and he just kept dying every 5 steps because it's such a hard game. And he got so frustrated that he just threw the controller down, and he's like, the makers of this game have never made another game before. And we were like, actually, they made Mario 1.
All right, so the dark chocolate bar is still in the lead, but there is a competitor on the horizon, and this is the Galleta Chin Chin, the Chocoformas. And it's basically, on the package, looks to be 2 chocolate faces covered in sprinkles. One face on the package is a happy smiling face, and the other one is Mr. Bill.
The other one, he's like going, oh no! But now there's several inside, so when you have an opportunity.
Yeah, there's actually 4 in here.
Me too. I have the oh no face a couple times, actually. It's pretty great.
I have 3 oh no faces and 1 smile.
I've got, this is an exciting podcast, I've got 2 smiles and 2 oh no's.
I have just 3 oh no's.
And these are much smaller than I thought they were going to be.
Yeah, it's just some little round chocolatey thing with sprinkles on it. And I can't tell if there's some kind of... Is that like a mint flavor, or what am I tasting? Or am I just tasting stale Peruvian chocolate?
I agree. On the first bite, I tasted something vaguely minty, but I'm not sure that's what it is. I don't know.
Is it these are cookies covered in chocolate, right?
Yes?
Are you eating the right snack?
Well, they're so thin you can barely tell, and like the cookie flavor seems to have this weird, or maybe it's the chocolate. Something, you're right. It's like it's chocolatey, but there's this weird other flavor in there, and I don't know what it is.
Definitely different than what I thought. I thought it was going to be like chocolate. I didn't think the whole thing was going to be chocolatey throughout.
Yeah.
And the sprinkles are a little less than they see on the front, at least on most of my cookies. And that's a good thing because I'm not a huge sprinkles guy. All right, Geiger, lead us off.
I think somewhat the sprinkles have come off over time because they've come back from Peru and into a suitcase and into our hands and into the mail and all that. So
That's unacceptable.
partially why they're not as sprinkly.
Think it over. No, take your time.
This one's hard.
You know what, guys? I'm gonna think about it for 10 minutes. Put the clock up.
What's a client? You've been at work too long.
No, I'm hovering between.
Right.
I'm hovering between dislike that and knock it off. And
Give us a rating! Rate the cookie!
It'd be funny if you just said 2 totally different things. You're like, I'm hovering between dislike and love.
Every single podcast, I hover between hate and love. I'm gonna say dislike. There's something weird. Like the chocolate's fine-ish, but maybe it's a chocolate or maybe it's a cookie. There's something in it that just tastes a little off. That has a weird, I don't know, just a weird taste. I'm not liking it, and I don't like sprinkles that much.
Seems to be upsetting you too.
No, I'm just confused.
You got your head down. You're shaking your head. You're like,
well, I can't describe what it is that I don't like about it for the listeners, and I don't want. I mean, everyone's just waiting. They have Amazon open. They're about to like enter their credit card details to order a pack of these, and
they're about to click. They've added to cart, and they're about to click purchase.
We're gonna say checkout.
Right.
I mean, you can go ahead and order all the other stuff you have in there, like the 50 Shades of Grey book and a bunch of grapes and other stuff like that. But don't maybe take this one out of the checkout. So yeah, this is a dislike from me.
Were they getting the 50 Shades of Grey book or the movie?
Both. Well, it's an audiobook.
Okay.
So that way they can listen to someone read it like really breathily, like, oh, then I fucked her or whatever.
Both of their hands will be free so that they can just blast all over the room.
That is one of the lines from the book. It's then I fucked her. That was pretty much.
She came in and we had coitus. I think that's one of the lines.
I remember that from the preview where it just zoomed in on this guy's face.
He winked at the camera and said, "Boinker."
Remember when the 50 Shades of Grey had like the Benny Hill music in the trailer?
He's just like chasing a naked woman around.
All right, Chad, what do you think?
This is the hardest one that we've had to rate today.
How many shades of gray is this?
About 5.
Ooh.
And a quarter?
5 out of 4 shades of gray. One of the faces that this cookie makes is kind of a shades of gray face, like the whole.
Oh, he's totally making an O face for sure. It's not bad, but there is something about it that makes me not really want to eat anymore. So, yeah, I'm hovering between indifferent and dislike. I think I'm gonna go with a dislike that.
All right. Well, I'm going to differ from you guys. I think this is the best of the 4 today.
Really?
Yeah, I don't mind the cookie. I don't think the cookie's that bad. It is strange that I don't know what the oddly mint taste is, but I think the cookie's fine. Sprinkles I don't love, but they're fine, and I enjoyed it. I would eat the rest. I would eat this before I'd eat any of the rest of these snacks. So I'm actually going to give it a like that, which the only problem with that is I'm totally confused about who won.
Yeah, Ancestral Chocolate Bar is the winner today.
Okay, what do we give that?
With a like and 2 indifference.
Okay. Wow. Well, I'm not sure what that says about the Peruvian snacks, but this little 3-ounce pack of dark chocolate has knocked out all competitors. But the key point here is that we did have our first ever flaming bag of dog shit, and we did accurately describe 50 Shades of Grey.
Right. Starring Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, when you mentioned that we had a flaming bag of dog shit, you were talking about how we referenced 50 Shades of Grey. But we also had a snack that we rated flaming bag of dog shit. So 2 flaming bag of dog shits in this episode.
We had some Kardashians. We had pretty much all the worst of our culture mentioned today.
Right.
Who would play you? Which actor would play you in 50 Shades of Grey?
The guy?
Kendall Kardashian.
Which of any actor in the world would actually play you? Serious question.
I would be the Alf puppet, probably.
I think you'd be played by Bill Craxby.
There was a guy in college that swore that I looked like James Van Der Beek. Now, just to be clear, I look nothing like James Van Der Beek, but he was like insistent that I was like a dead ringer for James Van Der Beek. So let's go with him. He needs work, right?
Was the guy in college the visiting musician Stevie Wonder?
Is that funny because he's a musician?
Yes.
Musicians notoriously bad at facial recognition.
What else is Stevie Wonder known for?
Let's see, wearing sunglasses a lot.
Wait. I'm thinking. Isn't Stevie Wonder in 50 Shades of Grey? Or am I thinking of somebody else?
Oh, yeah. His world is basically one shade of gray. He can't see anything.
Well, this was a very... Man, usually we offend somebody like in minute 2. The whole time I was thinking, man, this is a really like mature, decent, respectable episode.
Nope. Sorry.
So James Van Der Beek, Geiger, who's playing you?
I don't fucking know. I had an ex-girlfriend tell me I looked like Josh Hartnett. She was lying. I don't.
No, you don't.
You know what? Who would play me?
Not even fucking close.
Matt, former Chicago Cubs pitcher Matt Clement would play, who literally did look like me with his hat pulled down. Okay.
Mine would be the
Stevie Wonder.
That's why I brought him up earlier. Mine would be the old That 70s Show Topher Grace.
Oh, yeah. We had a friend of ours that famously talked about that, right? Like he picked out an actor for each of us that would play us in a biography or something like that.
And you were the guy who plays Shaggy in the Scooby-Doo movie.
Oh,
Matt.
Yeah, no.
I think that guy's name is Matt.
It was Matt. Where's Matt?
Matthew Lillard.
That's it.
Matthew Lillard. I'm fated to be a Matt.
And so use the places that we mentioned earlier, the email and Twitter and what have you, to tell us who would play you in a movie. So that will do it for this time around, and we'll be back next time when we will be trying 3 brand new snacks.
Deuces.
Yep.